I know Chigs is in here recording or some shit.
No Chid Smooth in here, right? So whatever you say,
you know, Chid gonna have everything up there.
whatever you say, Chid's gonna be on YouTube with it, man. I like you.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Chick Smooth. Real quick, before I play this Mysonne video, looks like a lot of people were not feeling the NORE Kanye West interview, and they did not hesitate to let NORE know about it. NORE started bragging about the interview. He said, "My interview got more views than football." Then a lot of people came down on him. People told him, "Yo, you know people slow down at accidents, right?" And then someone said, "All money in good money." And then somebody tweeted saying, "Drink champs starting to age like verses." NORE responded to that tweet saying, "Relax, we all make mistakes." And then he ends up tweeting, "I'm sorry, my fault." Here's what Mysonne had to say about NORE apologizing for having Kanye West on his platform. Please like this video, push comments below, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later.
And he made an apology. You know, NORE's a real good friend of mine. Really good friend. And I love NORE. And prior to doing the interview, probably minutes before the day he did the interview, NORE called, he texted me and asked me, you know, he didn't ask me about the interview. He just said he was interviewing Kanye and did I have questions? And I didn't know when he was interviewing him. So I wasn't able to tell, you know, he asked me to have questions and he wanted some Until Freedom merch. I guess he wanted to wear it to the interview to show his support for our organization. And people say, "Oh, it's NORE's fault." And I'm like, I don't blame NORE. NORE does what he does. NORE is a street dude who got a podcast, and Kanye is a friend of his, and he wanted to give him a place to tell his truth. He ain't did nothing that the average person wouldn't have done. He's not politically savvy. That's not what he does. He don't understand the politics of all this shit. But the reality of the situation is, as a businessman, it wasn't the best business move for him. You know, sometimes we learn things late. And as a man, he apologized. That's all you can do in this world, right? You live, you learn, you take accountability, you say, "Damn, I fucked up, I shouldn't have did this." And that's all I ever ask. But when you stand on some shit that's wrong, and you wrong and you strong, you gotta deal with that on your own. You know? So, you know, I love NORE. I think I wouldn't, you know, I haven't spoke to him. He sent me the clip where he was, you know, questioning him about White Lives Matter or whatever. I didn't respond, you know, I didn't really respond because I took a whole day to just soak in a lot of that shit before I even put up the post that I put up. But at the end of the day, man, this is, you know, a lot of this internet and podcasts, it's a business. And it's driven by views. And unfortunately, the world is intrigued by whatever Kanye has to say because they know he might say some outlandish shit. And that's what sells at this point. You know? That what sells at this point is shock value. So everybody who has a podcast more than likely wants to interview Kanye, especially if you moving up and you're trying to get views. You want to interview Kanye. You don't understand. Freedom of speech comes freedom of accountability. You are free to be accountable for the speech that comes out your mouth. Like, what are you talking about? It's just stupid. It is not about Wicked, man. It's not about what it's this. And I think what happens in this world, right, is that we don't realize that everybody has a role in the position. Right? Everybody has a role in a position. You don't get on a court with basketball players, the NBA players, and basketball, right? If you get on the floor with pro basketball players, they're gonna whip your ass, right? You don't get into the ring with Mike Tyson or you don't get in the ring with Floyd and you can't box, and then get mad when you get beat up, right? It's you stay in your lane. I'm not gonna call Floyd out to a fight if I don't think I can beat him, right? Because I'm not a professional boxer. This is how he lives his life. And then if I get in that ring, I can't cry that I'm a civilian, right? That I'm not a boxer. The minute that I sign that contract and I get in that ring and I'm taking, and that's what I'm trying to say. The free speech, right? You can't offend the wrong people, right? Kanye is what he's dealing with is he has an inferiority complex. He's been a nerd his whole life, and now he thinks his money is going to compensate for the fact that he's a nerd, and you're not tough. So you think that you can disrespect people who you think are tough now because you have money, right? So you can call people names and disrespect them. That shit don't matter. Your money don't matter in the world these people is in, right? The accountability that you have to deal with those men is two different accountabilities. You stepping into a realm you don't play. So when you step into the tough realm, the tough niggas gonna put their hands on you. He been a nerd. We know that. He's a geek. He always saw the fake tough guy. He has a complex. This is who he is. I mean, this is simple. He said it. He wants to call out, oh, you fake tough guys in the street, because you never been that. You know, and what it is because he's not that, he wants some level of acceptance. You know? And that's what the problem is. And you stepping into the realm and you start playing disrespected men, calling them out their names and this and that. It's some men that don't care. Like Will Smith didn't give a fuck that he was at the Oscars and he smacked the shit. Some people don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. They just don't care about the amount of money you got, the celebrity status that comes with shit. And Will Smith is a good example, because Will Smith is not a tough guy. But you pushed his button. He'd never been a street individual, but you pushed his button to the point where he wanted you to know that he wasn't playing with you. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happened. So imagine when you're dealing with somebody who their whole life has been around street principles and morals, right? And you playing with them in the same manner. They care even less than Will Smith. You understand what I'm saying? They care even less than Will Smith. So what do you think is going to happen when they catch you somewhere? No, I'm just trying to say. No, but what I'm trying to say, you don't have to be street to be violent. You're 100% correct. But what I want you to know is, the people from the streets, there are certain codes and ethics and rules that come with street life. It's not about violence, right? It's not about being violent. It's accountability, right? It's a jungle, right? So once you violate a man, you are subject to get punched in the mouth. I don't know other rule outside of the jungle and the streets where I come from. It seems as if outside of that realm, people don't handle those situations that way, right? It don't seem like people handle situations that way. They go to court, you know, you get to say what you want, but you can't do that with everybody. Some people don't want, people want to be the only person that live around the white people. And that's just the reality. And they don't, and this is a classic example of, there's so much shit going on in the world, so many people in our communities that are starving, dying, dealing with so many issues. And I think it's disappointing that wealthy, rich people think that you're gonna focus on their problems. When you've been wealthy and rich, and you haven't done to focus on the least of these problems, right? When all of the shit that you quote unquote think you dealing with, the average black person who hasn't had proximity to wealth and success has been dealing with that shit their whole life. And 10 times worse because they don't have no resources to do anything about it. Right? So when wealthy people come and say, oh, they doing this to me, yeah, they've been doing it. We've been saying something about it. But you've been so in a cocoon in your own little world because you have proximity to resources and wealth that you don't give a fuck about what the average person is doing or dealing with. You're not doing anything to help the average person. You're not distributing resources. You're not doing anything. But you think that when you cry that something's happening to you, everybody's supposed to give a fuck about what's going on in your rich world. I'm the average person, everyday individual. You know, regular person.